like that. So that includes first-year students, transfer students, international students, and grad students. And then once they're a part of the community, it's also our job to continuously engage them. So the office is in kind of two parts. And until this point, the MFA has really existed completely outside of that model. You know, you're not on campus, you have your own faculty who are pretty much all the resources you need in your writing journey. So this is the first time we're trying to bring some campus resources to you. Before I introduce my colleague, whose job this really is, I'm going to let her do most of it, we just wanted to get a sense of the room. How many of you are within driving distance that you might come to campus for an event? Okay. And how many of you are not? Great. So we've tried to include as much as possible that can go to both groups. So if it seems like we're spending a little time about on-campus things, we have other things on schedule too. So I'm going to introduce my colleague, Elizabeth Elliott, who works more often with graduate students than I do.
Great, thanks, Nicole. Hello, everyone. So happy to be here today. Heard a ton about Enders Island from Nicole, of course. So it's great to put, kind of a face to the name, so to say. So yes, as Nicole said, my name is Elizabeth Elliott. I am one of our program coordinators in the Office of Student Engagement. So along with the undergraduate population that I'm charged to work with, I also have taken on graduate student programming for probably the last year and a half or so. It's still a population that I'm trying to learn and trying to figure out, and it's kind of, the added challenge of how are we going to engage the MFA students when they actually aren't here on campus. But as Nicole said, we do have some on-campus and off-campus resources that hopefully we'll be able to share with you. If there's any questions at any time, please feel free to let me know. If you can't hear me at any time, please let me know that as well. So we can get started. The first resource that I want to make you all aware of is something called OrgSync. Our campus has had it for the last couple of years now, and it did take a while at first to get students really on board with it, but this is really the one-stop shop for all things Fairfield. So OrgSync is our campus engagement network. Essentially the way that it works is there are different clubs, organizations, academic groups that have what are called portals within the OrgSync network. So it's a private online community where if you have a certain interest in any particular item, you can join that portal and get updates on that population or that group or that club. So a few portals I do want to point out. Engagement at Fairfield, as Nicole said, being employees of the Office of Student Engagement, anything that we're pushing out, any mass notification, any large-scale event that we might want you all to be aware of, we will post that in the engagement portal. There's also a graduate student life portal, which is something that I oversee. So anything that we have going on, any important parking updates, if there's anything around the holidays for our students, any additional transportation to and from airports, local areas, things like that, we'll post it in there. We also have the Graduate Student Senate. You might hear me refer to it as the GSS. That's a new initiative within the Office of Student Engagement. So similar to our undergraduate students who have a governing body and can be the voice for the undergrads, we finally have managed to get the Graduate Student Senate off the ground. I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the presentation, but essentially it's a governing board that has one representative from each college or school. So as MFA students, you are all in the College of Arts and Sciences, so you do have a senator who, while you can go to any of the 5 senators, you can specifically go to yours for any question, concern, any issue that you want to raise, any changes that you want to make on campus, and they can kind of help be that voice and facilitate those conversations with upper administration at the university. There's also the recreation portal. So as graduate students, you all, courtesy of the GSS, they had heard that graduate students really wanted to not be paying a membership to use our recreation complex on campus. So through various conversations, we were able to get all graduate students a free membership at the Recplex. So if you didn't know about that, now you do. So within the recreation portal, any classes, if they have any special instructors coming in, you can find out information about recreation through their portal. And then we also, I'll highlight the Quick Center for the Arts, which is on campus, our large performing theater. Very discounted student rates for any shows that you might want to see. We have brought in some big name acts and guest speakers in the past. But anything that you want to see will have a discounted ticket price. If there's something that you do want to see that does have a lower price, but you still might not be able to cover it, if you email Graduate Student Life and let us know, we do have a small pool of kind of slush funds that we can oftentimes cover various ticket costs. So any question or concern, you can always let us know, and hopefully we can be able to help you out. And then just some instructions here as well for logging into OrgSync. You will do it through my.fairfield. I'm not sure. Okay. So my.fairfield is essentially every Fairfield student, undergraduate or graduate, has login information. So your net ID is your first name dot last name. You do have to claim that net ID.
Yes.
Great.
We needed that to register for classes. So
Perfect.
We probably did that.
Perfect. So if you go to my.fairfield.edu, you'll be prompted to log in using your net ID and whichever password you set up. And then from there, you'll look for the OrgSync logo, and you'll then, again, have to log in. But take some time, click around, explore. It's a pretty easy system to navigate, and there's hundreds of portals within it if it's anything that suits your interests.
Yeah, there's also an app. I just want to add the Red Clutch that you have access to is brand new as of two years ago.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous facility. And our very own Abby teaches their classes
Perfect. So a bit more about graduate student life programming. As I said, I was kind of tasked with this after our office had restructured in the last year or so. I'll be the first to admit the graduate student population is tricky to work with. We often joke, for the graduate students, they can kind of come to campus and in the dark of the night and take classes and be on their way. So it's really my job to figure out what opportunities are going to be best suited for your population and what's going to make the graduate students stay on campus, or at least in your situation, come to campus if you aren't already. So a couple of different areas and services that I try to seek out for programming: professional development, networking with alumni, certainly. We've had, depending on the year, some groups of graduate students are very involved in service and they want to see those service opportunities and they want to be a part of them. Cultural events, we'll usually partner. Our colleagues over in student diversity and multicultural affairs are wonderful. So we'll often partner with them on various cultural events depending on different months, different weeks of the year. And then off-campus programming as well has been an area that I've begun to explore a bit more, just knowing that sometimes it can be easier for our graduate students to attend something that's not on campus, and that coming to campus might literally be going out of their way. Some signature events that we do offer have offered in the past and will continue to in the future. We have had monthly socials. Those have traditionally been on campus in what has been the levy. As I said, we do quick center ticket offerings. We do an annual spring wine tasting. In the past 2 years, it has sold out in the first day that reservations have opened. So we have thought to explore 2 different sessions of it, 2 different dates, a fall tasting, a spring tasting. And what we've done is actually partner with the Fairfield University Art Museum, which is located in the basement of Bellarmine Hall on campus. So we'll do whichever gallery is happening at the time, we will do a private tour for our graduate students, followed by usually an hour and a half wine tasting by one of our experts. We also oversee Graduate Appreciation Week, so that happens each April. There is a National Graduate Student Appreciation Week, if you didn't know, but we sometimes try to connect our week with that, depending on what else is going on campus. Sometimes we can't do them at the same time. We want to make sure that we have all of the time allowed for you all. So it always is in April. It just depends on whether it falls with the National Week or whether we choose to do our own. And then every year, Graduate Student Appreciation Week ends with our Graduate Student Service Award recognition ceremony. So again, at this ceremony, we will honor one student from each of the colleges or schools. In the past, we have had the College of Arts and Science winner of the award be from the MFA program. So if you or somebody that you know does exceptional work, serves maybe your particular program or beginning of the spring semester. I know Nicole had done a quick show of hands at the start, but are there any dates, times, locations for you all, if anybody wants to chime in, for any of these opportunities? When are you most likely to come to them? Would you want to bring children to these guests? Is there a certain time generally that seems to work, or is it kind of all over the place? I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on that. Yep.
I mean, I don't know, this obviously probably, it wouldn't necessarily fall with the school year necessarily, but most of us that are out of town are obviously planning on being here
Right.
a couple days, a day, each right after Christmas, so maybe
Yep.
something within that time frame, like people are flying in, maybe part of the day, for
Okay.
purpose.
Yeah, that sounds
Or even
good.
something leading into this, like the summer licensing, maybe.
Sure. For sure.
Yes, I work 9 to 5, and I usually have gone to some events at Fairfield University, but usually make the ones that start at 7.
Got it.
Like from Monday to Friday, 7, 7:30, 6:30.
Sure.
But if it's like at 2 p.m. or 4 p.m., I'm going to have to ask for permission to be
Trickier. Yeah. Yeah, understandable. Great, thank you.
So as Liz said, we have had an MFA win the Graduate Student Service Award. Lauren won that for work that started in her third semester project. I'm pretty big on trying to connect with Elizabeth and Sonia to get our name out there on campus. As much as we're trying to bring campus to you, campus needs to know that we exist too. So nominations for that, nominations for Teacher of the Year. A few years ago, we realized that our faculty that aren't undergrad faculty weren't included in the options to nominate for graduate, for Teacher of the Year. So now we are. So any kind of opportunity, I'll post in the Facebook group to kind of make that an option as well. As well as the museum that we partner with for some events. Also, the MFA partners with them sometimes for aquatic opportunities. So we've had multiple graduate students in the MFA or alumni at the MFA be able to write for that, which doesn't matter if you're at a distance or close. And then they did a group one recently as well. So keep an eye out for those emails from Elizabeth as well. Other Elizabeth.
Yes.
I don't know if you've gone over this, but do you guys actually do readings on campus for writers?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually it's Elizabeth, our Elizabeth Hastings, that has coordinated some. And they're either alumni or their guest or faculty a couple times. Adriana came and did an event on campus last year. She flew all the way from the Middle East to campus just to speak and then flew home. I think we're also going to talk to Mike Belanger about his young adult novel and see if that's good for our first year students for him to do a reading. So yes, there are opportunities for that as well.
What about opportunities for the students themselves to read?
Undergraduates or you all?
Graduates, undergraduates.
Yeah. We've done them in the local community. I don't know if we've ever done them on campus, but we're certainly open to it and we can help coordinate that if there's consensus, that's something we want to do for sure.
Like graduate.
Yes. Yes.
Is there an undergraduate literary magazine at Fairfield?
Dogwood is a literary magazine run through Fairfield, and the students who take World of Publishing help with that. And then there's something called Inkwell, which is our totally student-run club, undergraduate literary, like on campus. They produce it.
Yep.
And now there's Brevity.
Oh yes. Now that Dinty has kind of, I don't know how that all works, but now Dinty Moore is faculty here, and Brevity is now kind of housed with Fairfield University as well. Which I had the opportunity to help read for this semester, and I learned a lot through that process.
Yeah, just again, kind of as I had said, with Graduate Student Appreciation Week, I've overseen 2 of them now, so this was our lineup for last year's. As I had mentioned, we always culminate it with the Graduate Student Service Awards, but we had done a Broadway trip to kick off the week starting on Sunday, so our office covered the full ticket price for you all, or it was $20 each, but we covered more than half of the ticket price. Depending on what the budget looks like each year, we could possibly cover the entire thing. But just a couple of different offerings. We partnered with the Quick Center. We did did partner with the Recreation Complex, Recplex again. The library has been wonderful in the graduate student study space that's down there. So trying to, beef up the weeks each year and make them as best as possible for you all, but being aware of, coming to campus again might not necessarily be the easiest for everybody. And be on the lookout, as I had said, just for April 2019, depending on which week we pick. Great, graduate assistantships. So this is somewhat of a new area for me, had to do a bit of research on it, but graduate assistantships are not impossible for our students to get. There are a limited number of them, but they do exist. So down here, it's a bit small, but a screenshot from the Fairfield University website. If you do a quick Google search for graduate assistantships, these are some of the offices and departments that have traditionally offered graduate assistantships. So just to highlight a few, we do have the English department, we do have the Writing Center, International Studies, Center for Faith and Public Life. This was one that they had asked us to push out to the graduate students through WorkSync. So again, if we get any department or office that specifically reaches out to us in that way, we do believe that WorkSync will be the best possible way that we can get that out to you all. So just another perk of WorkSync, getting this information that way. So while there are a limited number of them, they are available to full and part-time graduate students. Most of them do have some sort of tuition waiver. In some cases, a stipend is offered as well. When you go onto the Fairfield website to look at the graduate assistantships that are there, it will list which semester or semesters the assistantship is being provided for, which office. It'll give an overview of the position, the deadline to apply, if there is a stipend or any kind of tuition remission, what that amount is. So there's all different information listed for each one. And then it'll also say how many are being offered. So some offices and departments might have only one being offered at the time. It might have none, or at least they're not posted now, but some do have multiple. So just things to be aware of, but they are out there. I know it is a competitive process for the ones that do exist just because there are so few, but it is an opportunity for you all. Again, this one from the Center for Faith and Public Life in the spring and the fall semester, a couple $1,000 each time in tuition remission. So, I don't know. Great. Any questions about anything so far? Okay, the Writing Center, perfect. So, I loved this on the website where writers write, writers talk about writing, and tutors respond to your writing. I thought that was a great way to put it. I've included the hours and location of the Writing Center for you all. So they are located in the lower level of our library on campus. Graduate tutors are available to the graduate community, which I myself did not know. And they also provide guidance for the undergraduate students who serve as tutors. I know we have somebody here from the Writing Center. I don't know if there's anything you want to add about different services.
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, sure.
So, Allie and Mark and I all work together in the Writing Center. And basically, what you can do is come in, no, that's blinding. You can come in at any stage of your writing process, whether you're brainstorming ideas, whether you need help organizing an essay, or if you want just something to read over it to polish a final draft. We do work with fiction that we get in creative pieces. It's almost like a workshop. We could help you with anything that you need to work on. And also craft essays, that would be a great opportunity. I know that for some people it's sort of the painful part of the packet. So we'd be happy to read any of those, and we can work on things remotely. We can make appointments and work with you over the phone, via email, if you can't actually make it to campus. And another thing is that most likely 2 assistantships will be opening up, not this coming semester, but in the spring when Mark and I graduate. So that is something to keep in mind, that for those that are interested, there would be a 15-hour-a-week position opening up for 2 people that are interested in helping and teaching. And we work with the college students, but we also do a lot of work with graduate students across all disciplines, engineering papers, Yeah, those are fun. Presentations, we do some resume work and things like that too, cover letters, job applications. But yeah, it's a really great community and it's a really wonderful place to come and, have people look at your writing and give you that second set of eyes. So, cool, thanks.
Great, yeah, thank you. Perfect. A little bit about our library on campus. I do have the hours on the next slide, but the library had asked us to put in a blurb about them. I had mentioned a little bit earlier, the graduate students do have their very own study space. So that's located in the very, very lower level of the library. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, you'll take a right and it's in front of you. Something to note as well, it's a new initiative at Fairfield, but we do have what's called the Student Library Advisory Board, otherwise known as SLAB. Not the greatest acronym in the world. They came up with it, not me. But graduate students do have representation on SLAB. So essentially, our library has been in many discussions about kind of restructuring and becoming this sort of academic commons. So the library staff has asked undergraduate students, graduate students to participate in essentially and be the change makers for this library in the academic commons. So, the meetings that I've been in, they've talked about what kind of chairs would you want to see in the library, what types of services, what events, programs, opportunities. So another way, if you choose to get involved with the on-campus community, there were 5 this past year, 5 graduate students serving on SLAB from all different disciplines, all different areas. So given the work that you all do, it's certainly a great way to get involved and again, be those change makers on campus. You can reserve group study rooms, collaborative workspaces, private rooms. Usually during finals time, the library staff will raffle off a VIP study room or workroom. So they'll provide drinks, food, snacks, you name it, and you'll have it reserved for you all day as long as you want. They are free to reserve. You can go right onto the library's website. Again, you can just see a couple highlighted offerings here. With the study spaces, research groups, the librarians you have full access to. They do have a 24/7 librarian kind of chat area. If you want to talk to anybody at any time of night for the library staff, you can do that as well. Printing is there. It's kind of your one-stop shop with all things writing, studying involved.
Yeah. For those of you that are local, there is a section of the library that's open 24/7, so whatever hours will work for you, you can do that. And in the summer, if you're local and you're looking for a quiet space, our undergraduate population drops to about 100. So the library is wide open from the months of May to September. Yeah. Yes. So we'll talk a little bit about STAG cards, but for those of you who stop by campus and get them, there are IDs. The mascot is a stag. Everything has stag in the beginning of it. And included on that for graduate students is $25 worth of printing money. So especially if you're near campus, you're working with a faculty member and you're mailing your packets back and forth, very helpful to do that on campus as well.
Perfect. So again, the fall hours, you can see here, I am going to hopefully try to get this PowerPoint out to you or send it to Nicole and she can get it to you all. So no need to necessarily take notes, but if you want to take a picture of it, it is here for you. Again, some unique highlights which I did not know, but students do, and you all included, have access to the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. There is a citation guide for every type of style that you can imagine. The library did want us to also point out there is a resource on their website for connecting off campus, whether that's troubleshooting or just trying to figure out how to get onto the network and how to get these resources if you aren't on campus. There's a kind of step-by-step guide, but it is something for you all to be aware of that you do have access to these items, because I also did not know that.
Yeah, and our colleagues that are research librarians are really underutilized by the undergraduate students, and they're there to help you research things, so especially as you go into your third semester project or if you're writing something creative that requires some research, they have a lot of access to a lot of things, and you can access our librarians online 24/7. So you can ask research, and I think they helped me on my first third semester project. So it's a really good resource, and nobody ever takes advantage of it. So they asked us to ask you to do that.
Blackboard. So same thing, very similar to what we're saying. I put the information up here as far as how to log into it. But again, it's something that you would do through my.fairfield using your NetID credentials, and that is what the Blackboard logo looks like. So it essentially is another platform, but more so rather than student activities based. This is purely academics based. You can see here our wonderful friend Nicole's involvements, and I've highlighted your coursework will be underneath the My Communities and Organizations part of it. Some professors, some faculty members use it more than others, but it seems here that as I was peeping through Nicole's community resources, it does seem to be very much utilized by you all.
Yeah, I'm gonna, how many of you have logged into this Blackboard community before? Okay, not enough. I'm gonna show you, there's some really cool resources. So that is a screenshot of mine that has way more than yours. When you log into Blackboard, probably if you weren't an undergraduate, the only thing you'll see is the MFA community. Yes. So I'm just gonna pull that up because there are sample craft essays, sample third semester projects, reading lists from the faculty, and things that you can access. So let's do that real quick. Do you have any questions as I pull this up about anything so far?
You mentioned something about a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I did.
Great. So there is an MFA colleagues Facebook group that is pretty active, and so we will talk to Elizabeth and we'll get you in there. It's great. It's current students, faculty, and alumni.
Okay.
Anybody who's wondering, my password is Enders Island. Just kidding, it's not.
She's like, can you add a screenshot of Blackboard to that? I'm like, sure. Do you mind sharing your password with me?
So, like I said, mine has a lot of stuff, but right here under my communities and organizations, you'll probably only have one, which will be this FU MFA community resources page. Yeah, and there's a lot of good stuff here. So the student handbook, which not enough of us read, given how much time I'm sure it took our faculty to write it. You're welcome. Workshop preparation, I can't tell you how many times, because I like to follow rules, somebody will submit something and I'm like, did you read the guidelines about what we're supposed to do? So they're right there if you need a reminder. I haven't clicked around in this professional development folder. I think it's new, so that's cool. But yeah, there's reading lists from faculty. There's sample student work here, broken down into craft essays, third semester projects, and creative theses. Thank you. This is why I break things down and don't say them out loud. So yeah, and they're in all different genres and things like that on there. And they're ones that the faculty decided were good enough for us to use them as models. Any questions about this? I do recommend that you click around on it. There's more than I'm getting to right now, or I'm happy to sit down with somebody and show you around it as well. You should all be using it. I've used it many times. It's very helpful. Yep, your same NetID and password, and you can go to fairfield.edu/NetID if you can't remember what that is, and you can reclaim it.
So I just logged in and I don't have MFA under my communities and organizations. How do I get that?
Yeah, so it probably means that we have to add the new cohort. So I can talk to Elizabeth and make sure we do that. Yeah.
I had mentioned it a little bit earlier, but just some more details about the Graduate Student Senate. So once again, it is the representative body for undergraduate students, made up of one senator from each school. I've highlighted down here Kate Shannon. She'll be your go-to person, but we do have all of the senators listed in the graduate student life and the graduate student senate portal as well within Parsing. They are part of the shared governance structure at the university, really charged with advocating for the needs of graduate students. So your senator does want to hear from you. It's been a new initiative I had mentioned earlier, but probably this will be the second group of senators that are coming in, and a lot of them did graduate, or all of them, I think, did graduate. So they had stuff, in the works. They've since left the university, but we really want to follow through on the requests and the interests of the graduate students and really seeing those things through.
I think one of the important things here is that our office recognizes that we're not so great about engaging distance students, right? Pretty much right now, MFA students are our only distance full-time students. But the university is moving in that direction. So we're going to start advocating for more things to do for those students, but it needs to come usually from more than one place until we see it on campus. So if that's something that's important to you as well, and you shoot Kate an email, she can start advocating for that as well. Because as I said before, many of our undergraduate students don't know that we have any distance learners. So it might even just be like, hey Kate, do you know we do this? We want you to know we want you to know that. As well as, how many of you didn't know you had a Fairfield email address? Okay, so most of you are knowing that and checking that. So Elizabeth will use whatever email that you sent her, so that's fine. But sometimes the things that get pushed out through OrgSync go to your @student.fairfield.edu. So graduate assistantships that are open that we're pushing out, they're going to go to that. And you can get to that at my.fairfield as well. Same login information. It's a Gmail platform.
Lauren had won the Graduate Student Service Award for the MFA, but I was emailing her congratulatory letter, her invitation to the dinner and the reception. Weeks had gone by. Nicole finally was able to reach out, but I was sending everything to her student email, but she didn't even know existed at the time. So not necessarily everything will go through there, but most things will. So please be checking it.
Yeah, or just forward it to whatever you're at. And you won't get that many.
Yeah, there were some hands earlier.
I did have one, and I heard this might not be something you can answer, because it's a library specific question.
Okay.
I'm wondering if there are specific databases that are most useful for MFA students. Like, I've used JSTOR as an undergrad for craft essays and such, but I'm wondering if like short stories and creative nonfiction are available in other databases.
Right. I'd have to look more at their website. So what they've done, especially for our undergraduate programs, is they have certain research guides on the website. So you can click on a history major, open up that resource guide, help you with history research. So I imagine there's one for our English undergrads, but creative writing is a concentration at Fairfield, not a major. So I would have to look into it more to see if it's inclusive of that.
Great. So we do have on campus the Academic and Career Development Center, ACDC, not to be mistaken for the popular rock band. So within ACDC, there is the Career Leadership and Professional Development staff that do work with graduate students and alumni. The library as well has an entire page of resources purely for alumni, so you even do have access to the library post-graduation, as well as ACDC. So services that are available in addition to the Writing Center, offering help with resumes and cover letters and that type of work. The Academic and Career Development Center does work with you for professional writing type of things relating to your career. I know Nicole has told me so much about your faculty advisors and the work that you're doing in this program, and they really are your go-to people. But for anybody that is planning or trying to conduct a job search of any type, they're a really great resource and a really great place to start or to continue. They do interviewing skills, networking skills, they do programming in addition to our programming, so they will bring in different alumni, they will host different programs that you can participate in. They also oversee our Stags for Hire system. So again, a quick Google search for Stags for Hire. If there is a login, again, that's your student ID and password. But graduate students and alumni also have access to Stags for Hire. So it really is Fairfield's primary job and internship search. A lot of employers know the type of students that Fairfield University produces, whether you are an undergrad or graduate student, so they will out to us and say, can you post this in Stags for Hire? And it is, again, jobs and internships. So anybody can have, any Fairfield student does have access to that, including you all, and beyond your time at Fairfield.
Yeah, I think to echo what Liz said, for anything that has to do with your writing career, our faculty are definitely going to be more equipped for that. But most of us, if not all, have other careers. And so career planning can help you with anything, including, for those of you that are far away, connecting you with alumni in your area. So there's about 50,000 alumni from Fairfield University in all 50 states and multiple countries. And they can connect you with that. There's also alumni chapters in most areas that are far from Fairfield that get together sometimes if that's something that you're yearning for as well in your own community. But these things, as Liz mentioned, stay with you forever. We are pretty big on our once a stag, always a stag philosophy. So even if you're graduating soon, you can access the library resources, the ECDC resources, and things like that. Whatever you need to. If you want to do a career change, you can start with them as well.
Pretty big.
Yep. Once an alumni, always an alumni.
Yeah. They're located in the Kelly Center, which traditionally we refer to as the admissions building, but for anybody who's familiar with campus, when you pull on from North Benson down the main driveway, it's right there on your right. But anybody can help you out with directions as well. But they are in the Kelly Center.
Yeah. Just to add about the stag card, for those who are kind of like, I don't need it. It can also help, I have both my employee one and one that says students, because anywhere you have a student discount, Stag ID is a great thing to have. So even if you might never use it, it's worth popping into campus for 5 minutes. Her name is Joan, she's great, she'll take a picture, and I'm still 17 years old in my picture, and she'll print that out for you as well. So yeah, Liz or I are available for questions.
How do you get a static card if you're not on your campus?
I'm working on figuring that out right now. 100%. We were just talking, and I was like, I still have to ask about this. It's pretty. I feel pretty strongly that you are entitled to one. So I have to ask Joan how that works if you can't stop by and get your photo taken. I will attempt to work that out by the next residency, so that if you're able to send in a photo, and she'll probably have very specifics about that, and we can get one printed, and I'll bring them to the island. That's my goal right now, but I have to run that through those people.
I feel like Elizabeth has asked me to get that thing out.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like sensitive.
So I'm gonna figure that out, and we're gonna send probably this, but also just a quick cheat sheet. There are a lot of hyperlinks that I didn't think that I'd hand out with any. So we're gonna send that, and any information like that I get, we'll make sure you get as well. But like I said before, some of this is gonna that we all kind of need to start advocating for things that a graduate student who does come to campus gets. We all kind of need to do that. So anything else that comes up that you're kind of like, I don't know who to ask this, Nicole, but I feel like we should get this, we're willing to look into that. Yeah.
I just wanted to add for those you do live on more distance, don't, well, they can be looking into the graduate assistantships, because you might think like we at campus, but I'm doing one for our department, and I can do it from home. So, yeah, definitely look for those.
For people who live around campus, we have to live on the parking sticker. I have a $6 ticket without a sticker, so it's free. You just have to go and get your plate for it's not.
So I was also wondering, do we have access to the gym on campus?
Yes. Free access for all graduate students, thanks to the Graduate Student Senate. But it requires that ID card, so once you get that, it's free. It's the STAG card.
When I picked up Lucas yesterday, athletics did want me to point out as well with that STAG card, free access to all of our athletic and sporting events on or off campus too. So yeah, if you have the means to get one and we can figure out how to do that, it's just a great thing to have.
Do you have the library mails books?
I don't know that. They do to on-campus mailboxes.
Right.
But I will find out.
Thank you for sure.
I say for sure. I'm working on it. Anything else? Okay, so I do recommend that you click around that Blackboard community and OrgSync, and you might come up with questions after that. So obviously I'm around. Or Liz's email is there, and I'll share it in the links we send out. I'm pretty much freshman, and she's pretty much everybody. So she might be the better person to contact. So I'll be make sure you have that as well.
Yeah, and I'd also